going up to see Jenny and surprise her with her $5,000 prize. Jenny, congratulations. You're a Bunnings home ground hero.
Pretty honoured and humbled to be a Bunnings home ground hero.
It's overwhelming actually, it's humbling. It's a nice reminder about why I do this.
But yeah, just the whole sense of gratitude, man, and thankful to Bunnings and TNZ.
Sport. What does it mean to us? For some, it's potential, a promise that we could be better, that the early mornings will be worth it, that we could be champions.
It starts with touch.
This Touch New Zealand event is proudly supported by Bunnings Warehouse.
Kia ora koutou te whānau and welcome to the 2023 Bunnings Youth Touch Championships, broadcasting live from Ngā Pūnawai courtesy of Whakaata Māori. And now we are moving on to the 18s grade, and first up in the mixed division we have Bay of Plenty up against Kāpiti Horowhenua. I'm joined in the commentary box to my left by Maya Williams and on my right Corey Tauwhari. And I myself, Michael Kavanagh, will be bringing you this game. And just while I have the opportunity, I only find it fitting that since we are going to be having the Bay of Plenty up here, I just would like to extend a bit of a mihi out to the Savage whānau, who I've had a lot to do with Carlos over the years, who unfortunately lost Matua Clint during the week. So our aroha and strength coming to you from our Touch New Zealand community, as well as the commentary box here. So just extending our condolences to the Savage whānau. For this game we have an exciting display of mixed touch, and we were fortunate enough to have a mixed game before this. Auckland showing a very dominant performance, and a lot of tries were scored. I think 10 in total in that game. And moving into the 18s division now, I can expect that we'll be in for another pleasing performance and hopefully a lot of excitement when it comes down to the scoreline. And we've got three really regarded referees that are going to be taking care of this battle, as we see Tony Arnell on screen with Caleb Downs, and the very happy and smiley Richie Heap will be the other referee that you'll see out of the bottom right hand side of your screen. Maya, you would have a lot to do with these referees and a lot of experience, so we can probably see a pretty open game here in this mixed contest.
Yeah, that would be the hope, bud. Two very experienced referees in Tony Arnell and Richie Heap. I think they've reffed more years than these kids have been alive, so some would call them old, I'd more call them ancient. But great to see them still running around. At least they can. Really good referees, really about game flow and trying to promote the best opportunity for the two teams.
As we can see, running from right to left, Kāpiti Horowhenua, they get to tap off the ball to start this contest, and then running from left to right, you'll see in the blue and yellow the Bay of Plenty crew, as Kāpiti Horowhenua looking to open up the try scoring accord as they almost go 1-0 up, only 20 seconds into the matchup, but the Bay of Plenty were able to secure a good defensive stop there and shut down this crew. And just having a bit of a talk with Kevin Quinn, the coach of Kāpiti Horowhenua, he said this is a very young crew, and some of them it's their first Youth Touch Nationals to come away to, so they'll be very excited to be here, but also learning a lot of lessons as they progress through this tournament.
Harry Murphy, Cav from Kāpiti Horowhenua, has come out firing, mate. We saw him earlier doing a bit of a captain's toss with the referees. So he's come out, started strong, put a bit of a stamp on this match.
Yeah, it was cool to kind of witness the referee coin toss and just kind of the respect that both players and referees had for each other in that toss moment, and a few jokes and a few laughs were had at the moment of the coin toss. So it was cool to see a bit of fun was also being had between player and referee before obviously the contest began.
Still stayed out there. He might be looking to come off for a sub now. He's going to stay strong. He's going to stay strong and go again. See if he can get himself another strike on the ball here as he approaches the 7.
And you would have been around when the Bay, a very strong mixed province, a lot of New Zealand internationals, representatives coming out of that province. So what are you looking for from the Bay in this matchup?
Yeah, Bay of Plenty and mixed touch are synonymous with each other. They're just, when I think mixed touch, I'm just thinking Bay of Plenty. They just had the Solomon brothers, Kōpai, the Cecily Stantons. They're just mixed player after mixed player, and not mixed player, a fantastic touch player who just happened to play a lot of mix. So they're always incredible to ref. Again, very dynamic. Didn't know which way it was going, left or right. That's the worst thing as a referee, standing in the middle and they're trying to guess. So yeah, Bay of Plenty teams have always been great in mixed touch, and even in the secondary schools, whenever we're playing in the regionals against schools from the Bay in the mixed grade, they're always really strong and really good.
Correct me if I'm wrong, boys, but it was the early days Bay of Plenty mixed open team that won, I think it was 9 or 10 years in a row. That was when Kōpai and Mike Daly and all those boys were running. It's a great effort.
I think Corey's shown his age, because I think I caught the tail end of that 9 or 10, and Cav, you were probably still just about to enter high school at that stage.
Yeah, I think when I came into the national scene, it potentially was the back end of the Bay of Plenty run before I think Kanti's Manukau started to perform in the mixed division. But definitely through the words of Mike Daly and the learning experiences I've had being in the New Zealand system, I've heard a lot about that group, and even some of the highlight reels that have been put up via the YouTube channels or on social media. It's been cool to see the dominance that they used to have on the mixed game and the success that came with it.
Kāpiti Horowhenua really put it on Bay of Plenty there on the attack line, as we see number 9 from Bay of Plenty streak down the sideline for a wee sneaky subset play.
Yeah, Mania Herbert, nothing on. Down the sneaky sideline play, been a ninja and gassed it away for an easy touchdown, 1-0 Bay of Plenty.
It's become a real trend, this wee sneaky play down the sideline. And I think the first time I ever saw it was the young boy Chicago duel that many of the touch players will know. Wade Bronson, coach back then, I think he sort of come up with a bit of a tricks to play, and it's become quite the norm now.
Yeah, it's a real opportunist type play where you think that the boy is obviously going to sub off, or whoever the player may be within any grade, and then that little cheeky one down the wing, and that's for us as wingers, where we can't switch off and get caught ball watching, because if you've got the option taking of some of these players they have these days, then they'll take anything on hand, and to let a sneaky one like that in is a real coach killer and something that's easily avoidable.
Yeah, it's a real run against the play, that one. Like I was just saying, Kāpiti Horowhenua really sort of had a couple of good cracks at Bay of Plenty's line, and just a bit of a lapse in concentration let them in 1-0 up.
We say as we see the Bay of Plenty team here, rucking from left to right on your screen, just getting across there halfway to the 10 metre, looking to get a good strike as they get just towards the 7. A bit of an opening between the two middles. He looks to pass right to left. And there we have number 3 for the Bay of Plenty mixed team, Maya Ballas, dotting down.
Yeah, Landon Mux comes out of half, runs a bit open, then just steps back to his short side. Nice and casually as he does it. Sends the ball over to the winger, number 3, Maya Ballas, as you said, Kev.
It just seems that the Bay of Plenty team, they're playing like they've almost got all the time in the world when they're getting across the half. Like, it doesn't look like they're getting too flustered. They're being quite patient, understanding that there is a level of pressure on, but their first 2 options was probably a little bit indecisive of getting the ball to hand, but since they've kind of found a little bit of a rhythm in the last 2 minutes, it just looks like they've got heaps of time when they're on the ball.
That's the magic of all good players, though, isn't it, Kev? Sort of from the side, you look at it and think, oh, he's got so much time at it. Peter Walters is of our game. You know, he's a real exponent of that. So he's got all the time in the world.
As we see the Bay of Plenty group here looking to square up, bit of footwork there by Nico Irahe. A little bit of an in and away, and then was able to kind of get away from the defender, but the defender, having a good body position, was able to narrow that space and make the touches. We see a good drive there from Annalise Prakash, finding a little bit of extra metres for the Kāpiti Horowhenua group, as they're setting up for a 32 pick, looking to go short side, not finding any space out there.
Dante out of half for his mate Connor. Try to sneak down the short side then. Fifth and last. What do they got for us here? Maybe try and grab someone to bite. We're just going to kill it on the other side of the field. About Plenty, going to start to work down there. Out the back, heading towards the box. Nice early half. Good running here from 16. Picked up some good yards. Might just need to pick up the pace a little bit here to get into a bit of a strike position. Here we go. Kobe's held that up sort of as long as he could. No one coming through on the chop line.
I guess when we think about it from a coach perspective, the killing the ball away from the other team's sub-box is an advantage for us defensively. In terms of from a referee's standpoint, does that kind of give you a little bit of a break because things aren't going so direct and things are a little bit more lateral, that you're almost able to find your feet a little bit easier on the interchange mile?
You're definitely able to. It makes it easier in the 7-7, as we've seen. A great little move there by number 8 from Bay of Plenty, Landon Monks. Just a little bit of an individual effort. Was there a 33 peel play there? Cav has just come in and stepped one way, faked the other way, and underneath, an easy try. So just going back to your call there, as we watch again this fantastic try from Landon Monks, it's doing the 7-7 after a turnover. It's a lot easier when they go away from the box that they're eventually going to drive to. You can get yourself through the middle. You know the ball's going to cross you, and you just gently follow it across in the interchange just on the back end of the sub box. Whereas when they are on the side that they're going for, they go hard up the sideline to the sub box, and you generally get a little bit run over.
Corey, you're the one that actually taught me a little bit about this, but we can kind of just see that the way that the Bay of Plenty are kind of shaping their defence, they're almost exposing their open side, short side that I remember you teaching me about 3 or 4 years back, and it's really giving an advantage to their save side defence, that they don't have to cover as much ground. How effective is that in a defensive system, do you believe?
Yeah, I think Cavs, any system's great. Like, if any system any coach applies, there's no right or wrong. But yeah, I think you spotted that well, Cav. Bay of Plenty is sort of squeezing over a little bit more and giving a bit of a bigger open side and making it a lot harder for the short side. And it's just giving their defenders a bit more time to come across and snuff out Kāpiti Horowhenua's defence.
We see a good lifting touch there by number 6, Kobe Solomon, trying to nullify the attack for the Kāpiti Horowhenua side as they're looking to attack down that girls' edge again, but really stood up to the challenge there, did Tepani. She made sure that the player didn't get on her outside, and she was able to press forward and make a touch in a good positive line. As Bay of Plenty really looked to go down that edge, very strong before coming back to the middle. A little bit slow in the play of the ball there. Coming back for a 32 pick. Good S drop.
Monks again. Nice pass out the back. Yeah, Landon Monks has been real dangerous on the ball coming out of half.
Yeah, showing some real confidence when he's entering the field. Like, he's able to kind of direct his unit that he's coming on with, and they obviously respect that he's got some good option taking, and they're allowing him to get on the back end of some of these sets and do his thing.
This could be dangerous with Landon still back out there for Kāpiti Horowhenua, so let's see what he sets up here.
they look forward to secure something in the middle of the field. Looking for another 33 play, look to play a plus. Looking inside, outside. Good square shoulders there from the Kāpiti Horowhenua defender. Was able to press forward and shut down the space of the Bay of Plenty attacker.
I feel like Landon and Kalani are really starting to condition this defence here. There you go, I've got them. Oh, great defence, good recovery.
And good change-up, you know. I think they got 2 off that 33 peel to begin with, and now they're looking to throw the fake of the peeler and play the out ball to the person who dumped the ball. Is nice little dummy there, and the man that set up a couple was able to score one himself through Monks.
As they went through, Cav, was that Eski Liwita? Yeah, I think it was. They've shifted the attack to Olo and Eski. Yeah, easy as he does, just strolls on through a big old hole there. Well done.
I know this is our first 18s game, Kev, but I thought in the 316s games there was a lot of speed end to end. It was like at 100% the whole time. And this seems like it's a little slower, almost like they're a lot more comfortable with what they're going to do and just being deliberate about things as opposed to going 1,000 miles an hour. Do you sort of get that sense?
Yeah, I think it probably seems that way due to some of the turnovers that we've had in the green zone side of the field, and rather than trying to play everything at 1,000 miles an hour, they're actually trying to break down the defence a little bit, and I think that's what we've seen from the Bay of Plenty group, and it kind of is a little bit reflective on the scoreboard of being 4 touchdowns ahead, is that those tries that they kind of executed in the opening 5 minutes, they didn't really get through that middle 5, and now towards the back end of the half we're seeing 2 tries get executed through kind of the change up of playing to that primary option but really choosing to take that secondary option in terms of not playing to the person that's running down the lane and more or less playing to the person that's split off the ball. So some very smart mixed touch here from the Bay of Plenty unit.
I think I'd be a little bit remiss to when talking about Bay of Plenty and mixed touch. Horowhenua Kāpiti for a lot of years there, probably in the last decade, was really good in that mixed touch scene. Some names escape me. You might know a few names, Kev, that come through that period of time, but it was like that group of kids that come from school into the touch. As we see a try for Bay of Plenty, set up by that man Mania Herbert and scored by the scoring sensation Landon Monks.
Yeah, I think one name that might be quite familiar in terms of a real stalwart of the Kāpiti Horowhenua group is Hamish Buick. Obviously a great person at the same time, has been a great touch player, and he really controlled that unit, and also they had the likes of a Hikapeni, who was their coach for many years, and if I do remember rightly, I think they may have got like 2 or 3 back-to-back open mixed titles, or before the Auckland mixed reign, who I think this time around are going for maybe their 8th or 9th title on the trot. So it definitely comes in flurries when it comes to this mixed division. And I think even looking back at previous championships through this 18 mixed grade, it's really been a mixture of teams. We had Kanti's Manukau before, Honganui, Titai Tokoro, Southland there for a couple of years. There was a year that was rained out, and then it went back to the Bay of Plenty, Auckland and Titai Tokoro. So there's definitely been shared around in this mixed division over the last 10 years. And just some real trust here in the Bay of Plenty systems when they're coming down to the 7 metre line, as we see Monks again on the ball just all the time in the world. And I think that's where Kev for Kāpiti Horowhenua will want to be changing things up, is just getting a little bit more comms on the defensive line as we move into half time. Bay of Plenty scoring one right on the buzzer to extend their lead 6 touchdowns to 0.
We're going up to see Jenny and surprise her with her $5,000 prize. Jenny, congratulations. You're a Bunnings home ground hero.
Pretty honoured and humbled to be a Bunnings home ground hero.
It's overwhelming actually, it's humbling. It's a nice reminder about why I do this.
But yeah, just the whole sense of gratitude, man, and thankful to Bunnings and TNZ.
Sport. What does it mean to us? For For some, it's potential, a promise that we could be better, that the early mornings will be worth it, that we could be champions.
It starts with touch.
Kia ora koutou and welcome back to the 2023 Bunnings Youth Touch Championships, and we are broadcasting from Ngā Punawai in Christchurch live on Whakaata Māori. You're joining us here in the 18 Mixed division. We have the Bay of Plenty crew versus Kāpiti Horowhenua. We've seen an entertaining first half here with the Bay of Plenty using some real experience in the way that they've broke down the Horowhenua Kāpiti defence, and we'll see this on the try lights here as we cross to the Bunnings replay. And it's been a lot of this man here from the Bay of Plenty group, Landon Monks. He's not only set up 2 or 3, but he's also crossed for a couple himself, and we can see the time that they've had on the ball as we look here. A nice 32 pick, gets heaps of time as he finds his way into the end goal. Great patience, and he's able to execute a nice right to left part for Ballas on the wing. And then a bit of a change up, looking to come down the 33 lane. Didn't look to his pass on this instance, says hey, I can do it myself, and dives in for their 4th. And then another player that, if I remember rightly, when I look back to the secondary school nationals, a real talent that we saw in the mixed division, number 5, Eski. Just all the time in the world, and had a lot of patience to be able to dish that off to Monks, as we see again he crosses for his 2nd out wide. As now on your screen we see the Bay of Plenty team in the blue and gold running from right to left, and in the blue, white and red running from left to right we have Kāpiti Horowhenua, as we see a nice 33 peel down the middle, and it goes back to that man Monks. He was the man of the first half, and he's opened the second half the way he finished the first, and Bay of Plenty, they crossed for their 7th.
He was bored of playing touch, so he thought he'd play a little bit of basketball in there. Went up for the alley-doop and gave it the slam dunk. Oh, forward pass.
And those are the ones, Maya, I guess you can tear the heartstrings out of teams when they think they've crossed for one, but when they get that call from the sideline, and that must be where it comes in really handy to have those assisting referees to help you if you miss something in the middle. Yeah,
always good to get that help. I must say that one looked pretty tight. I thought that come backwards out of the hands, but I'm 70 metres away, and that sideline referee was stopped right on the spot. So great call from the sideline referee. Relayed that through to the on-field referee.
Hey mate, Monks is still going to have a great highlight reel on the TikTok with that shot. It was a beauty.
Haven't seen any slam dunks today, Kev. I know there was a little bit of a bugbear of mine up at the secondary schools, getting these quickies and diving under with these huge slam dunks that I'm sure were taking an extra half an hour to get to the ground. I might be exaggerating there. Eski with the ball.
If you're on that one, Maya, express yourself all you like, but the old slam dunk, taking that extra time to get down, there's that real risk of being tagged before the put down. So
Eski and Nico working together.
Eski just looks like he's got so much time, doesn't he?
Oh, he was amazing to watch in secondary schools, and as you see, that set that up for an awesome try. Easy put down for number 11 from Bay of Plenty.
Even Tomai Rangi here, watch his footwork on this. He's just got so much time. Eski out to Tomai. Just stop and go. And beautiful release to the winger. They're getting into their work now, Bay of Plenty.
Yeah, nice little show of the feet, the little give and go, and then was able to execute a nice draw and pass there, as we see Rameka Kirimiti crossing over for her first touchdown of the game.
With your coaching hat on, Corey, if you're the coach of the Kāpiti Horowhenua team, you would have given them a chat at half time, and then you come out and you had 2 put on you. How do you keep the team up for the next 12 and a half minutes in a game like this?
Well, I think Maya, Kevin's a smart man. He's been around the community coaching scenes for a while. I think he'd probably go back to the old sandwich technique. Just go back and sort of, win those little goals. maybe defend a full set of 6, maybe go to defending 2 full sets of 6. Maybe even limit it to let's just win touch 1, 2 and 3, stop Bay of Plenty getting so many attacks on us. They just got to keep it simple here, I think.
I think Corey said it really well, like for having a bit of a talk with Kev before the game, and him just talking about the youth and the inexperience of this group. Like sometimes it's not actually the outcome of the game that you can get your wins in. Like sometimes it can be as simple as, hey, we held out a team for 5 minutes without them scoring a try. And like when you kind of give those small goals, it can go a long way in the development, not only of a player but of the team as well, because as we know within our touch groups, like the culture of a team can sometimes beat the talent of a team, and I think it'll show in terms of the development of this group over a few years.
Yeah, Kāpiti's still got plenty of energy. Here we go down the sideline now. You can still hear their box going outside. They're still playing real confident.
Fresh set.
Fresh
Good
set on the line.
to put the first runs on the board.
Yeah.
In the middle we've got Murphy setting things up.
I think Huddy's key to this. He's got another fresh set here.
That's all we haven't seen today, Cav. The old 3 penalties on the scoreline, 1 go and have a cup of tea on the sideline. Yeah,
I remember we were discussing this at secondary schools, as potentially it was due to the unfortunate weather that was occurring at the time, but we did see a few players that ended up going along the scoreline to having to have a bit of a water break at the sideline there.
Yeah. The wind was strong, pushing those defenders off the line just a little bit early.
I do remember, I think it was at the Mauri Championships, it did occur where the three penalties on the line, and Mr. Paulie Davis had to have a look at me when he was looking to run on, but the referee said, hey, you've got to stay on the side. He was a little bit unsure about what was happening, so it is a new law to our game, and something that players are getting familiar with.
That surprises me. Paulie was unsure about the rules. He used to tell me what they were all the time.
Did you get that via chainmail? As you see Bay of Plenty here looking to come into this green zone, as that man Eski has the ball and dished it off to the try scorer, I think, from...
He's smooth, isn't he?
Not too long
it's
ago.
His touch.
Eski's very smooth.
Corey, up at the secondary schools, the touch he had, just his passing was just, and you'll see it here. Yep, it's only a 2-metre pass, but it's exactly where it needs to be. Bread basket, nice and high for the winger to catch it, and he just does it with such ease and doesn't even look half of the time. It's the perfect pace. It's not a 20-metre pace for a 2-metre pass. He's just so talented, Eski.
I love the confidence he put into his winger there, Mika Kirimiti. He knew she was there. It was almost a no-look pass, nice square hips, and just flicked it onto his winger there to put the try down.
And just the balance that she had to execute in the corner there, like there wasn't actually a lot of room to move in there, and sometimes it can be quite deceiving actually how hard it is to run down a pretty small tram line, and I thought she did really well there to not only stay in field but stay nice and balanced to be able to make sure she secured that touchdown.
Here's the man, Landon, back on. Sweet play, almost the same play as they scored off last time, 5th touch.
Defense for Kāpiti Horowhenua link there.
Yeah, if there's anything I know about Kiev, it's this team will be definitely fit, so they'll definitely be making sure that they're there right to the end, as we see a lovely piece of hands there in the corner, and Ballas. I think that might actually be her 3rd for the game.
Are you trying to say she's greedy, Kev? Is that where you're going to with this?
Let's have a look who set that up again. There it is there, Landon Monks.
Hey, at the end of the day, Maya, that's our role. You got to give it to us and let us do the rest, and we'll make sure that we put them down.
Correct me or not, first ever Trans-Tasman Series, Game 2. Was it you that scored the last try to win the game for New Zealand?
Yeah, I think it was an unplanned setup. I think if you talk to Naser Silberry, even he kind of surprised himself. And just kind of, threw a no-look left to right off a sweep. So whoever was coming on the back door may not have been too happy that he didn't get the ball, but I was fortunate enough that there was a bit of a lapse in the defence, and the Australian winger collapsed in, and it wasn't a very conventional put down in the corner, but it still got the ball down, and we were able to take the game 10 touchdowns to 9. And it's probably one of my most memorable games in the black singlet, especially early on, because it was the first win that I'd ever had in the open men's grade against Australia, and it was even better to do it on Anzac Day as well.
I think the circus was going to offer you a job with how much you juggled that ball on your way to the scoreline. Breaking through, Bay of Plenty, just again, and a lovely pass. It's really beautiful passes to make the catches as easy as they can be. Was that number 7?
Dante Stewart, yeah, Dante Stewart out of half. Yeah, puts on the afterburners.
Waltzes through.
There you go. Yellow boots to yellow boots. How good.
And again, not much room to move in, and that's her third of the half. Ramika Kiramiti, she's really putting an impact on that sideline in the second half, and there hasn't been a hell of a lot of room for her to move in, but she's making sure that she finds enough space to get that ball down, and they've really extended their lead here, Bay of Plenty, as it shot out to 10 touchdowns to 0.
I'd really love to see Kāpiti Horowhenua. Here we go. Just as I was about to say, I'd love to see them get one in. Touch called.
The great thing about the Kāpiti Horowhenua team is the body language. They haven't dropped at all, and they're keen as mustard. And being a coach from a small area, you're generally rebuilding every year. There's no such thing as a team you got formed. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Beautiful.
Here's the first one.
Kayla Jensen.
Nice work there, staying in the grind, never giving up and just working. And a beautiful little setup here in the middle.
I guess that's what you get, isn't it, Maya? If you keep that attitude right, and you stick to your plans that your coaches are throwing to you, and that's what eventually comes as these tries. So we're a young crew. They've done really well today.
And a move that we haven't seen a lot of today, like I know down here in Christchurch or in Canterbury, you'd probably know that as an OZ, or from around the world, from around the country, you may hear that as a stunner or a ninja or whatever you may call it in your province. But it's where they fake the quickie, and then you're hoping that the defence will make a bit of a lapse, look in, think that they have to shut in because of the person that's about to receive the ball, but the ball ends up getting passed out to the link on an outside, and it was a great executed move there from Kāpiti Horowhenua as they crossed for their first one.
There's Bay of Plenty again, and that man again, Landon Monks.
Landon Monks off to Roimata Brown, I think it was there.
I think his teammates that have dodged down will be owing him a few ice creams tonight. He's really put some points on the board for his team.
Yeah, he obviously seen a little bit of LeBron's scoring title yesterday, because he's bringing all the confidence that LeBron had yesterday in his game out onto this one. And as we see a nice, lovely over-the-top ball, and that's number 4, Roimata Brown, crossing for the Bay of Plenty's 11th.
That's what I love the best about watching the youth nationals. There's no technicality about that pass. Like you said, it was just a good old basketball pop pass over the top.
And there we go. Kāpiti Horowhenua, they're finding some success down this left-hand edge here. And just another simple draw and pass. Gets on the outside of his link. The winger collapses her shoulders in, and then it's what we talked about, just the option taking of some of these youth. Like, you can get quite individualistic when you're around that youth age, but the fact that everyone's looking out or trying to find the options of each other.
We got Maya looking close to the line there, watching Adam Jensen. Well, that's the name I've got down here on the spreadsheet anyway, but that must have been pretty close to the line. That's an awesome finish. Here we go again.
Just that touch from Eski. It's coming. I don't know how I'm still so amazed every time he does it, because I know it's going to happen. He just comes in, everyone's going 1,000 miles an hour, he's going 1, and he's just got them mesmerised. Just takes up the space, draws in the defender, and just the lightest of touches. Great lane running from the link girl from Bay of Plenty, and it just makes it look so easy.
Sort of sets Bay of Plenty well too for the tournament, does it? You've got Eski coming on, and then he might go off, and then you've got Landon coming on, and then they're full of strikes. So I'd say they're going to cause a few teams a bit of grief over this weekend.
And if you've got a group of females in your team that just don't drop any ball and run the right lanes and hold their space even when there isn't any, then that's just a recipe for success.
Yeah, their finishing's been fantastic, these girls in the Bay of Plenty team.
And the Bay of Plenty, they want to try and extend this lead, as we all know that when it does come down to some national competitions, points differential could prove to be the difference if teams are tied, as we see a a follow situation looking to be executed, but good space awareness there from the Kāpiti Horowhenua defence. You know, they made sure that they closed down any zone that could have been potentially opened up, and now they're just looking to ruck off the field as we see a good dummy.
Nice.
Good drive there. They're picking up good metres as we get into touch 2, and they'll cross the half in 3.
They can run into this. There you go, Captain Huddy. Just keep that flow going, get out of half fast here. Here he goes. I think he's run back into numbers there. Dishes off to the short side.
You both talked about, if you were the Kāpiti Horowhenua coach, around moments and around portions of the game, and the last 5 minutes it's 2-2, and prior to Bartercard scoring it would have been 2-1 to Kāpiti Horowhenua. So absolutely, they've just again that body language, that commitment to stay true to what it is they've been training all season, and they've really come good at the end of this game where many would have just fallen away. They've actually had, 2 apiece in the last 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin and Huddy and their team can walk away from this, and like you said, Maya, they can say, hey, the last 5 minutes of this game we got 2 draw. Build on that and see how we go for the next one. As we say that though, Olo Kitero just cruises through for another try for Bartercard.
Yeah, as we look to the Bunnings warehouse replay, just slowing it up, making sure that he gets that drop directly on the 7, and then just too much time to get to the line, and Olo Petero is able to cross over to extend the lead, 13 touchdowns to 2. As we near the end of the U18 Mixed first game of the day via the live stream, with about 30 seconds to go on your screen, and Kāpiti Horowhenua, they'll be looking for something down this left edge before this game is up, as they'll want to probably play out this set and give themselves every opportunity to get one more on the board. As they look for a 33 Samo, looking for a left to right pass, trying to find the girl in the corner. Good scrambling defence there from the Bay of Plenty winger, holding out the Kāpiti Horowhenua attack. 5th touch option here. They'll look to break it down as we hear the hooter, looking for something else down that sideline, and that man that had so much time in this game, number 5, Eski's able to cancel that. As we see on screen, as this game comes to an end in the U18 Mixed division, that Bay of Plenty, they just drew away with this, winning the contest 13 touchdowns to 2.
This Touch New Zealand event is proudly supported by Bunnings Warehouse.